Hello everyone, this is Tom Fox. I would like to welcome you to the Sunday Book Review. The Sunday Book Review is the series where I discuss books which impact the compliance practitioner, the legal professional, and the business professional. I hope you will enjoy this episode. The Sunday Book Review for March 28, 2021, the Now Let Us Praise Famous Men edition. Today I'm going to take a look at one of the seminal books that I have ever read, and that is, of course, Now Let Us Praise Famous Men by Walker Evans and James Agee. In the summer of 1936, James Agee and Walker Evans set out on an assignment for fortune to explore the lives of sharecroppers in the South. Their journey would provide an extraordinary collaboration and watershed literary event published in 1941 to enormous acclaim. The unsparing record of place, the people who shaped the land, and the rhythm of their lives is intensely and unremittingly honest, and today recognized by the New York Public Library as one of the most influential books of the 20th century. It stands as a poetic tract of time with an elegant new design, or rather an elegant design. The edition offers a remarkable slice of American life. The two authors, James Agee and Walker Evans, were seminal for this work. Walker Evans was an American artist photographing people and places in the United States in unforgettable ways. In his mind, it was no ideas but in things. He's known for his work in the Farm Security Administration addressing the Great Depression, where he saw a diversity of people and damage from the long past Civil War. A recent book by Evans by Svetlana Alpers got me thinking about this, so we've linked to her book as well. Walker had a variety of photographic essays that were published over the years, and Alpers explores how Evans made his distinctive photographs. Delving into a lavish selection of Evans' work, she uncovers rich parallels between his creative approach and those of numerous literary and cultural figures, locating Evans within the wider context of a truly international circle. The author of the words, as opposed to the photographs of Now Let Us Praise Famous Men, was, of course, James Agee. Many people know Agee through his film critique, and he is recognized as one of the top film critics of the first half of the 20th century. Unfortunately, he died in 1955 at the age of 45, and here I've selected his novel, A Death in the Family, which is almost an autobiographical novel that contains some of the most evocative descriptions of loss and grief ever written. As the protagonist hurries home to Knoxville, Tennessee, Agee grew up in Tennessee. He's killed in a car accident, a tragedy that destroys not only his life, but the domestic happiness and contentment of a young family. Posthumously awarded a Pulitzer 2 years after his death, A Death of Agee, A Death in the Family, remains one of the top works of the 1950s and beyond. If you have a chance to read Now Let Us Praise Famous Men, I heartily agree. The photographs are just stunning. The text is beautiful. It's an evocation of the South at that time and place that I don't think has ever been equaled. It is gives you a sense of what life was like, how the people lived, and the tensions and non-tensions between the rural poor in the South during the Great Depression. I can't emphasize enough how important this work was for me and my understanding of both the South during the Great Depression and literature, and how important this work is to document that time going forward. So check out Now Let Us Praise Famous Men, A Death in the Family by James Agee, and the new biography of Walker Evans. Thanks so much. We have several new podcasts on the Compliance Podcast Network I would urge you to check out. We have Coffee and Regs by CSS, which takes a look at RegTech, which premiered this past week. Also, this month on the Compliance Life, we have Rob Chestnut, former CCO at Airbnb, who's written a great book called Intentional Integrity. We have the Ethics and Compliance Library, a Conversant podcast hosted by Lauren Siegel, as well as Comtech, a podcast on the intersection of compliance and technology, big brains in compliance. And finally, we have the Compliance Handbook, where I take a deep dive exploration into topics related to the nuts and bolts of compliance. Thanks so much for listening.